We are back. We will be interviewing now the two candidates running for judge for the 24th Judicial District Court, Division H in Jefferson Parish. The 24th Judicial District Court has original jurisdiction of all civil and criminal matters in Jefferson Parish, with the exception of certain juvenile matters. The 24th Judicial District Court has appellate jurisdiction of appeals from all city courts in Jefferson Parish as well. Our first guest for this segment is Mr. Donald Chick Foret. Mr. Foret is a New Orleans native and is an attorney who was born and raised in New Orleans. A graduate of Jesuit High School, LSU, and Tulane Law School, Mr. Foret started practicing law in 1977, shortly after graduating from law school. Mr. Foret worked as an assistant district attorney in New Orleans, and soon after that he was promoted to prosecute in the Career Criminal Bureau. Mr. Foret then joined the Department of Justice in 1982 as an assistant U.S. attorney. Mr. Foret, welcome to the show.
Good morning, John. How are you?
Fantastic.
And actually, just one correction. I grew up in Jefferson Parish. I was born in Jefferson Parish and grew up in Jefferson Parish. And this is a district that includes the East Bank of Jefferson. Even though the 24th JDC, you hear cases throughout Jefferson Parish, it is a district court and a district election where the people of East Jefferson will be voting. And I've lived in East Jefferson all of my life.
My apologies, and thank you for pointing that out. We need to check our facts a little bit better before we invite you on the show next time, and for all the other guests coming on the show. So with the limited time we have, I want to get to our questions. So the first question for our viewers, who hopefully we're going to get them as many as possible to the voting booths or mail-in votes, I'd like you to tell us a little bit more about your background and experience that you believe sets you apart from your opponent as the better person to serve as judge, and what about your past suggests you will serve this community well in the future in the role of a judge?
And I would start with a one-word answer: experience. There was a great quote that I read recently which said, when you're young, you learn. When you're older, you understand. I understand, having practiced law for 43 years, what makes a good judge. I've seen good judges and I've seen bad judges. I not only have the legal experience of practicing law for 43 years, I also have real life experiences. I can only run one time because of the law. I'm 67 years old. Therefore, I am term limited out by age. So I'm not going to be making decisions as a judge on how I can get reelected, what is most politically correct. My decisions are going to be made on what's fair and just. I'm going to base my decisions on honesty and integrity. And every day when I go to work, it's going to be based upon what is right under the law and the evidence.
Very good. Next question. What do you think is the most important role that 24th JDC judges play in our community? How are you best qualified to fulfill that role?
As you talked about, the jurisdictional amount and limits of the Jefferson Parish Court is, these are the most serious cases in Jefferson Parish. Let's look at the criminal cases. You're talking about rapes, robberies, armed robberies, murders. Every serious criminal case comes through that court. Every serious civil case goes through that court. Child custody, automobile accidents, successions, property disputes. I tell everyone on the campaign trail, the most serious cases and the most serious issues in Jefferson Parish are decided by the judgeship that I'm running for, the 24th JDC.
Very good. So, do you believe that all citizens have adequate access to legal help in our system? And if not, what do you believe can be done to improve wider and better access to all our citizens in this community?
I don't think anybody would say that everybody has equal access to the courts. And the courts are unfamiliar territory to most folks. You and I have been in the system for a long time. I've been doing this for 43 years. I feel so comfortable in a courtroom. You know, there's some folks, as we look at the Superdome here through the window, they feel that's their happy place when they sit in the Superdome.
Sure.
Whether it be a duck blind or a Disney World or a fishing boat, when I'm in the courtroom, that's my happy place. That's where I feel most comfortable. I think it's incumbent upon the judges, and if and when I get elected, to make the litigants feel at home, Make them feel comfortable, because they're going into a territory that they are unfamiliar with, and most of them are scared of, and they need to know that they're going to be treated with respect and that the judge is going to operate fairly with honesty and integrity. It doesn't matter who's on what side. There's no politics that are going to take place. Whoever has access to that courtroom will be treated fairly, and they will get a just result. It is a search for the truth, and you have to have someone who has experience, knowledge of the law, and integrity to make those difficult decisions for the most serious cases.
Great. Well, why don't you, let's take a moment here to tell our viewers your ballot number and where they can find out more information about you and your platform.
Yeah. Chick Foret, and it's Donald Chick Foret, and it's Division H, 24th JDC, and my ballot number is 76, and our website is foretforjudge.com. It's easy to find. You can Google Chick Foret, and it'll come up, and there's a way for yard signs and all the information that you need. But it's number 76 on the ballot, November 3rd. There are 2 candidates in our race. Now remember, there are 2 different 24th JDC judgeships on that day. And some folks are getting confused as to who's running against who. In B, which has nothing to do with our election, is Pat Rooney and Chris Cox. In our election is Jerry Smith and Chick Foret for Division H. So there are only 2 candidates in my race, Chick Foret and Jerry Smith.
Okay, and that's good. It's always helpful to be to remind our viewers, remind everybody, there's a lot on the docket, and the more that they are able to distinguish, number one, both candidates for your race will be on this show, and on another show we'll have the candidates for the other 24th Judicial District Court judge race. But going to the websites, informing yourselves, empowering yourselves, you'll be ready to vote. Now, we do have a little bit more time, and I'd like to ask you if there's anything else in particular you'd like to talk about or discuss, something I didn't specifically ask you about. I wish we had an hour to talk, but in the limited time that this show allows, is there anything specifically you would like to tell the voters about yourself, about your platform, that you think would be helpful to them to make a decision on which candidate to vote for in your race?
John, this is a critically important election, not only locally for the 24th Judicial District Court, which includes the East Bank of Jefferson Parish, but nationally. I am so proud that I am the endorsed Republican candidate. I am the endorsed Republican candidate. My opponent and I both fought hard for that endorsement, and I got that endorsement. I am also proud that I've been endorsed by over 500 practicing lawyers. That includes plaintiff lawyers, insurance lawyers, business lawyers, family lawyers. I have gotten tremendous support from the legal community. Why is that important? Because those are the people who go into the courtroom that we talk about. They're representing the litigants in that courtroom. They are the mouthpiece for that. They have confidence in me, 525 lawyers. I've been endorsed by the district attorney of Jefferson Parish, Paul Connick. I never worked for Paul Connick, but yet he has endorsed me. I've been endorsed by the parish president, Cynthia Lee Shang, Councilman Scott Walker, Councilman Dino Bonanno, Councilman Dominic Impostata, Councilwoman Jennifer Van Rankin, the Harahan mayor, the Harahan chief of police, the Kenner mayor, the Kenner chief of police, most of the Kenner council, the Harahan council, Big John Ilg, state representative, Debbie Villio, state representative. All of these people know my background, that I've been practicing law for 43 years. I started working when I was 13 years old. Not only do I bring legal experience, I bring real life experience. I have 3 children, I have 4 grandchildren. I will make Jefferson Parish a safe place for my children, for my grandchildren, and for all the citizens of Jefferson Parish. I look forward to serving for 6 years. I can only serve 6 years. I want to work as hard as I can and give the people of Jefferson Parish the best 6 years of my life.
Looks like we got an extra minute or two to talk. So we got a bonus round question here. Can you point to a moment in your professional career, or it may be something in your personal life, where you had to make a tough decision, maybe a politically unpopular or an unpopular business-wise decision, that you think helps demonstrate the who you are and why you can make tough decisions as a judge.
In 2009, there was an open seat in the 24th Judicial District Court Division A. I had T-shirts printed, I had sweatshirts. 11 years ago, I was going to run. I had a meeting with my family, and I brought my 2 daughters in, and I said, girls, we got to cut back. Dad's taking a serious pay cut. And that's one thing I think people need to understand is that when you get to be my age, you're taking a serious pay cut to run for judge. I'm not asking anybody to feel sorry for me, but I almost ran for judge in 2009. And my daughters said to me, Dad, we love you, we want you to be happy, but we need a big wedding. We need $100,000 for our wedding. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You don't even have boyfriends. I made a decision in 2009 that I was not going to run for judge, that it was more important for me to provide for my family, to give my daughters what they were entitled to work hard. It's now 11 years later. I've worked hard to be in a position where I can afford to run. I'm funding this campaign right now with my own money. Certainly we're going to try to raise money at some point. But I feel like the decision I made in 2009 was best for my family. Now I'm asking the voters of Jefferson Parish, allow me to please serve you and end my career on a high note. And I will work day and night to make sure that the people of Jefferson Parish are treated with respect and fairly, with honesty and integrity.
Well, Mr. Foret, looks like we've just about run out of time. Thank you so much for being with us
Thanks
here
for having
today. It's been great hearing your perspective and learning more about you. Please, everyone, stay tuned for our next candidate, Jerry Smith. We will be right back after this short break.